Attachment fitting is a term that was added in the 2020 NEC. We actually added the term in the 2017, but we didn't add a definition for it until 2020. So the 2017 code talked about attachment fittings, and in the 2020 code, we tell you what they are. It's a device that creates an electrical connection when inserted into a locking, support, and mounting receptacle. Okay, well, that's one of those definitions where if you didn't have a photograph, you wouldn't have a clue what they were talking about, because that's a pretty broad definition when you really think about it. There's also an informational note that kind of helps us out that says, unlike an attachment plug, which we're going to talk about next, an attachment fitting does not use a cord. Okay, so this guy right here, and this is the one that is in this portion of the photograph, this is defined as a receptacle, and more specifically it's a locking, support, and mounting receptacle. And I think in the 2023 code we're going to call it something different. I think we're going to call it a weight-bearing receptacle, something like that. So anyway, you're going to put this up in your ceiling box, right? I don't want to call it a lighting outlet box because we're mounting a receptacle in it. So you put it up in your 3.0 box, your 4.0 box up in the ceiling, and then when you go to hang your light or your ceiling fan, you just walk up to it and you push it up there, connect them together, and there you go. Your ceiling fan or your luminaire is installed in a matter of seconds. That's kind of the whole idea with an attachment fitting. When you want to remove it, it's a pretty robust connection. There's a little threaded rod here that you thread into the device. You push it up, and that releases the contact. It's a lot easier if you're not, but that releases the contact, and you can remove it. But I can tell you, unless you push that little rod up, this thing does not come down. It's a much better connection than you might initially think. If you can see this in the picture, and I'm not sure that you can, there's obviously the rod, and then there's also like some ball bearings that go out through the side of it. And as I push this up and down, if you can see that the one moves in and out to release the pressure, and then you've got the electrical contacts that are here. This is an attachment fitting, and this is one variety of a receptacle. So there you go. That is the attachment fitting, and you can get them for ceiling fans, you can get them for luminaires. Here's a luminaire variety that you would install, once again, into the attachment, into the receptacle. If we keep reading in Article 100, the next definition is attachment plug, or plug cap, or plug. And that's a device that connects a flexible cord to a receptacle when it's inserted into a receptacle. So in other words, it's the male part of a cord. So this would be an attachment plug or plug cap. This guy here, the other end of it, is not defined in the NEC. So what do we call this? Well, we call this a cord connector, and these are regulated in Article 406. So you've got the attachment fitting, which has nothing to do with a cord, and you have an attachment plug, which is the male part of the cord. And then you also have the cord connector, although that's not defined, and that's the female part of a cord. So there you have it, attachment fitting and attachment plug.